Well, hi there. Warm welcome. You're watching News Pulse with me, Meghna Deka. Let's first up tell you how Prime Minister Narendra Modi was quite expectedly given a red carpet welcome as he arrived in Paris earlier today. This on a two-day visit. In fact, in a special gesture, French Prime Minister Elisabeth Borne received Modi at the airport. He was accorded a ceremonial welcome upon his arrival. Prime Minister will be holding wide-ranging talks with President Emmanuel Macron and join him for the French National Day celebrations as the guest of honor at the Bastille Parade. Well, later in the evening, Prime Minister Modi will be interacting with the Indian community in Paris as well.
I was very excited. बहुत अच्छा लगा मोदी जी को इतने पास से देखने का. Thank you so much.
डेडिकेट टू प्रधानमंत्री मोदी जी. प्रतिपल जीवन नव कोणों में विकसित होता जाए. धन्य विश्व विद्यालय भारत स्वर्ग धरा पर लाए. मोदी है तो मुमकिन है. बहुत अच्छा लगा उनको पहले सामने देख करके कि विश्वास ही नहीं हो रहा था कि असली में उनको देख रहे हैं कि लाइक ऐसा लग रहा है टीवी लगा हुआ है सामने. बहुत अच्छा लगा. बहुत मतलब देश की याद आ रही है मान लीजिए.
Truly blessed and privileged to see him in person, that too in Paris. We are extremely proud of India, Modi and everyone.
हाँ जी, बहुत अच्छा लगा. वैसे मैं मोदी जी को तीसरी दफा जब भी फ्रांस आते हैं मैं हर दफा इनको मिलता हूँ. बहुत अच्छा लगता है जब अपने देश के प्रधानमंत्री यहाँ आते हैं और हमसे बातचीत करते हैं. हमने हाथ मिलाया, बहुत खुशी हुई उनसे बात.
Well, in fact, with that, big breaking news which is coming in. The Prime Minister has put out a tweet after that very warm welcome by the diaspora. The Prime Minister has tweeted thanking them. He has said, I'm going to quote him here, a warm welcome by the Indian diaspora in Paris. Across the world, our diaspora has made a mark for themselves. In fact, let me go across to Siddharth, who's also joining us. Siddharth, can you tell us what the tweet says and also the kind of reception that the Prime Minister enjoyed?
So, Meghna, the Prime Minister put out this tweet a short while ago. You just took our viewers through the operative portions of that tweet. He also said across the world our diaspora has made a mark for themselves and are admired for their diligence and hardworking nature. This is about 15 to 20 minutes after he had landed in Paris and received that grand ceremonial welcome. And this was soon after he arrived just outside his hotel premises, where a large congregation of members of the Indian diaspora had waited there for several hours just for him to arrive and then eventually greet him. And this has been a hallmark of a lot of his overseas visits as well, where he does interact with members of the Indian diaspora who greet him in such large numbers. We saw a glimpse of this during the G7 summit in Hiroshima, subsequently in Australia and Sydney, and then thereafter in the United States of America, and now again that we're witnessing this in France upon his arrival in Paris.
Well, yes, it's interesting to see the Indian diaspora showing their might and also their love for the nation, turning up in large numbers this time around in Paris to greet the Prime Minister. Thank you so much, Siddharth, for that. Meanwhile, let's also tell you what Narendra Modi has said while he briefed Prime Minister Modi's schedule ahead of the visit. Of course, it's lined up for 2 days, tonight as well as day after.
Prime Minister will meet leaders, presidents of the Senate and the National Assembly. He will also later to address the Indian community. President Macron, who is the principal host, organizing a private dinner today evening with formal talks tomorrow. There is, of course, the main event, the Bastille Day celebration, which both Prime Ministers will attend. Later in the evening tomorrow, there is a state banquet, as well as interaction with the CEOs and other personalities. All in all, a very packed program, and we will keep on bringing you updates.
Well, there you have it. The MEA spokesperson Narendra Modi, he is taking us through what is expected over the next 2 days. But what has been very interesting is the growing stature of India that we have seen in every place that the Prime Minister has visited. The way that countries, be it US and now France, has rolled out the red carpet. Remember, it's not just the person, it is the country that he is representing. A country of 1.3 billion people, the largest democracy in the world, and also one of the oldest civilizational cradles of the world that we have rooted ourselves in. That is what our democracy is today, rooted in. A very important and an oath which was given by the Prime Minister himself as he headed towards France. That is going going to be the underlining factor here. The fact that this is not just a proud moment for the Prime Minister to be bestowed upon with such great honor, such great love, but also for India that we have finally arrived. Let me go across to Rishabh. Rishabh, we are looking at how the red carpet has been rolled out, but this is not just about the popularity of the Prime Minister, isn't it? It is about the arrival of brand India at the global stage.
Well, definitely. The brand India that we talk about now is something that has become a norm. Wherever Prime Minister is traveling, brand India travels with him. He represents 1.4 billion strong Indian population and at the same time a very strong Indian diaspora in different countries. We have seen it in Australia, we have seen it in United States, and now we are seeing it in France as well. Wherever Prime Minister is going, the diaspora comes out to welcome Prime Minister Narendra Modi, and that sends a very clear message to the host country that how popular this person is and what power as Prime Minister of India Narendra Modi commands, and that is something that is now on display. We saw it at the airport in Paris as well. The moment Prime Minister came out, there were Bharat Mata Ki Jai slogans raising. Prime Minister had to stop his cavalcade, come out and meet the representatives of the diaspora, and that scene will definitely send a message to the host government that how important this person is and how important the Indian diaspora in these countries have become. For that matter, you also need to understand that this diaspora that we have, the Indian diaspora, they have been doing work in these countries, and the host country also understand that how much this diaspora mean to them politically as well, and that's the reason that this diaspora has become an actual connect between these host country and India. It has been now part of Indian foreign policy that through diaspora we get the host governments to do and understand what our conditions are in different deals and on different issues as well. So if we talk about Indian diaspora, if we talk about Indian Prime Minister, wherever he's traveling, the way he's traveling, the way he's being greeted, that is something that is very, very important.
Well, Rishabh, in fact, do stay on with us. It's not just about the outreach, the diplomacy, but also the economics and the deals behind it, which are going to be very critical. In fact, Times Now was the first channel to tell you so, and now our news break has been confirmed. Sources are telling us within the Ministry of Defence that the DAC, the Defence Acquisition Council, has indeed approved the proposals for procurement of 26 Rafale marine aircrafts from France. This to boost the Indian Navy's operational capabilities. That's going to add massive firepower to our Indian Navy, isn't it, Rishabh?
Well, definitely. See, these 26 Rafale Marines that India will be buying from France will arm Indian Army in a much better way. As of now, INS Vikrant, which is India's first indigenously built aircraft carrier, or INS Vikramaditya, the two carriers that India have, they have been operating Su-30 MKI, and these Su-30 MKIs will end their service in next 9 to 10 years. And India, thinking in advance, has ensured that there is no gap, and India is now placing order for 26 Rafale marine jets. Out of these 26, 22 would be the single-seater operational Rafale M, and 4 will be twin-seater trainers. Will be flying from INS Vikrant and INS Vikramaditya, and that will add a lot of power to Indian Navy. Apart from this, Meghna, there's one more thing that is very, very important. The Scorpion class submarine that India is adding to its fleet. We already have 6 of them, but given the area of operation for Indian Navy, it was less, and hence we are buying 3 additional Scorpion class submarine from France that will add to the arsenal, and that makes Indian Navy formidable.
And also, the third big ticket deal, of course, is going to be Make in India, the co-development of combat jet engines. Also, another one of the big takeaways of this visit of the Prime Minister to Paris. We are going to be tracking the developments. Rishabh continues to stay with us. We're going to be slipping into a short break. More on the other side. Don't go anywhere.